In this video, we're going to show you how to take a normal photograph and add fiber optic lighting to the light post and give you a wow factor, where everyone will appreciate the photograph even more. In the description below, we will put the link where you can buy the fiber optic light source on Amazon. This is one way that you can support our channel, so stay tuned. So we're going to go ahead and do some fiber optic lighting on that photograph, and just to kind of like kick it up a notch in order for it to look pretty cool. So on those posts, we're going to go ahead and add fiber optic. I'm going to post in the description below a link where you can buy this lamp. This is a fiber optic lamp that we're going to be using today. We're going to modify this because this is going to be too big for our photo. Our picture is only like about an inch wide, so we're going to modify this in order to make it fit. Good thing about this here, you can see how it stands up. It's got, the fiber is pretty thin, but since I did a lot of fiber optic in the past, I happen to find ones a little bit thicker. What's cool about the thicker one, we can put these towards the front and even double them up, and then the thinner ones towards the back so they can look dim. So it'll be pretty cool. I have not done this before, so I'm going to be looking into this. This also comes, with a remote control that you can use in order to change colors, which it was pretty attractive to me, because then instead of just white lights, you can have it change colors if you like. And this has the option to with the USB to connect it here for constant power, or you can go in here and put AAA batteries, 3 of them. So this is the main guts that I want to go ahead and hold on to. But we're going to test it out by putting batteries in. So the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and test the batteries out. So there's a little screw here to hold the door locked. There you go. There it is. So there's your light. And as you can tell, we're going to be using the end points. As you can see, the end points is what glows. I'm going to change the colors here real quick. I go to green, go to red, and go to blue. So as you can see. And so these are called end glows because at the tip it'll glow. You have side glows. Well, our main interest is the end because we're going to mimic a light that's on the post. So now that we know that that's working, we're going to go ahead and turn it off. Oh, and by the way, this control is a infrared. And so being that's an infrared, it's like your TV remote control where you have to point at your subject in order to turn it on. So as you can see here, we're going to point it to change colors. See, if I point it this way, it's not changing colors. But if I point it here, see, it changes. So that's the only disadvantage of this, that I'm hoping that it'll be able to read through the photo, through the picture, in order to get the sensor. I'm hoping. Otherwise, we'll leave it on one color and just so it can turn on for the effects. It's not something we're going to be changing colors on a regular basis. We're going to be going through this together in order to see how we take this apart. So as you can see here, this is the battery. We already took the one screw out in order to take the lid off for the batteries. So I can see that there is 2 screws here. So we're going to take out those 2 screws and see and how to modify this. You will need wood glue or hot glue, either one when we get to the photo. But first we're going to modify this here and see what we got. This is perfect. So it looks like This is the main board. Let's put our batteries back here and test this out. See how skinny it is? That's perfect. It's skinnier than for what we need. There's an on and off switch here, by the way. And there's your lights. Let's turn it to green, blue. Let's see white. Now white, it takes all the colors RGB to make white. So my only thing that I'm seeing is, let me see that center one. Okay, so we don't need all these. Let me turn this off so you guys can see it. We don't need the outer edge. That one chip in the center is good enough for what we need, because that's turning white, green, red, blue. Let's see if you guys can see that. See, it's white, the one there in the center. Then it's blue, then it's green, then it's red. And then see how it turns white. So that's really all we need. And I need to see where that sensor, that infrared sensor is at. It's right there. This is what makes it turn it on and off. So that being said, our main thing is we need to have our fibers real close to that. So I'm going to put this door back on. I'm not going to bother with the screw. There's no need for that. So now we're going to look into how to get our fibers from here out, because we're going to make our own little holder. So it looks like if you just grab this, it pulls right out. So this, gone, no more. So this is the key thing. So see, this gets kind of polished. I don't know if you can see it pretty good there. This end gets polished, so when you have to have the light go through there, it transfers to this other end. And you can pretty see when I put my finger around it, you can see the light that I'm using to light up my studio here, how it flickers. So we don't need this big of a bundle because we're not going to use all these fibers. But we do need to figure out how to make this end close to there. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I turn this on, we'll put it in green. You can see the fibers, the end here, right? But look what happens when I put it over the light. See how when I put it over the light, it turns colors. See that? So this is pretty neat if you want to do something cool in your room. So now what I need to figure out how to make something, it has to be sideways. Even if I did it sideways, let's see if this thing picks up the light. See how it picks up the light? It's not directly overhead, it's on the side. That's going to be good enough. Let's see if we put it on white. So that's good. So it's going to be matter how close to the bottom. So let's say if we were to take a few of these fibers, and see, I'm putting it way too low, so that's not working. It's actually below the light. So you can see how I move it away from the light, how that one section lights up. So again, we're trying to be creative for what we have here. There's no certain rules. As long as it works, that's the main thing. So what I did was I look in the shop, and we have one of these. These are kind of like a screw cap. You would to put a screw through here, and then once you're done, you flip it over and cap it. Well, what I'm looking at is this hole here, and how this hole may be perfect diameter to put all my fibers in, because then we can glue it all together and this would hold it in place. Or this is a cable holder. You put this screw in, the cable through there. So, but that's not the one I'm interested in, because that's way too big, this hole. What I'm interested is on that hole right there. You know, that's just a little bit smaller than this. So if this is too big, we may put this one here, because again, these fibers are small. So I have my pair of dikes, the one that cuts here on the edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it real close to this here. And I'm just going to cut a bunch. Here we go. So now, don't forget that I got this other fiber too. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and grab 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and well, I guess it doesn't hurt to have 8. So I'm going to pull this out of the jacket, slide it right out, put the rest to the side. So you don't want to kink this, because if you kink this, then less light will show there. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of even these guys out. Even these out. And we're going to take this guy, get these guys together. And I believe I have plenty just from that little cut. And remember, some of these we're going to double and all. I'm going to make those a flat. And let's see here. Just want to make sure that I have plenty. Okay, even if I double, triple some of these. Yeah, I think I got plenty there. So see, this is the diameter that we need. So let's say which one's going to be better. Is it going to be this guy? And we don't want it. See, I can see that this is going to be too big. I started putting in, there's just too much play. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead, insert. I'm going to insert the skinny guys first. See if it'll work. Yeah, see, it's a little snug, so it's nice. I'm going to have to take half of it out. Make sure they all kind of fit in there. There we go. So I see one that kind of went astray here, and there's another one here. I want to make sure that all my fibers are in all the ends. So there you go. So these guys, I want to make sure that I put them in a little bit at a time. So there you go. So we're sliding a few in. You need to take your time. This is a job that requires patience. What we're doing here is we got all the skinny ones in. We make sure that almost kind of even here. And now we're sticking the fatter ones, and it's getting tighter. Now, instead of inserting from this side, which has got a bigger hole, we're going to focus on this side here. And the way we can do it is kind of stick it in between all these guys, right in the middle. Whoops. If you can, try to go through on the, like, insert it in through the bunch, and then go in, and you find it much easier. And here it is. So I'm going to pull it, and you can see it how it's drawing in. Hopefully you guys can see that. Where, there you go, got it in there. I got 2 more to go, or no, 3 more. So again, we're going to go ahead and find a little spot here to wiggle it in through the whole bunch, and then slide her in. It's getting tighter. There you go. And I see it right here. And now I'm going to pull it. Well, make sure I don't pull anything else out with it. There you go. All right, so I found some Gorilla Glue, wood glue, in order to use this for the painting. I found some super glue, which I've never used before on fiber optic, but again, we're all experimenting, trying new things, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to glue this here. I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and I'm just going to put glue right down here. And then once you have that, you can either slide her up. Boom. There's a little spot here I can add glue. Hopefully that'll get to where I want it. You can add a little bit there. We're going to be cutting right here anyways and sanding. So we're going to go ahead and so we went ahead and put glue right there, right here in the back. I don't know how super glue reacts to the fiber. Some things you just can't use on fire because it'll burn through. But we'll find out, won't we? So we're going to let this dry. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and cut the excess fiber so it'll be flush to be something look like that. And then I'm going to show you that we're going to be using this little sanding block in order to sand it down. We'll use a little water, sand it in order to get a smooth surface. And so let's wait until this thing dries. So I have some water in here that I put, and it's not 100% dried at the moment, but it's pretty darn close. I'm going to take my dikes. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Like I said, as close as possible. That it is almost even. So what I'm going to do is take the sanding block. So you can do it that way, or you can just take it this way and just sand it this way. I'm going to put a little bit of water. So we're going to put a little bit of water. We'll have, this is the sanding block, a little bit finer. It has to be improved. Again, it's kind of hard. See, I'm holding the fibers to my light source. Those are the big fibers. Let's see here, if we hold the little fibers up to the light, you can see it there. We went ahead and glued this to the board so the tip of the fiber is right above that one LED. And so we put a little, it's sitting on top of another LED in order for it to give it that angle. Because we're not going to use these other LEDs, so this is what we're going to do is we're just going to put a black electrical tape over it, because we don't want these other color LEDs to shine through. And that's all you really need to do with that. Just put black electrical tape over it. That's one way to get rid of the other light that's around, and we'll show you how that is once I get the last one in there. I know that we got this other light over here, but let's see how that works. Yeah, there's a little bit of red shining on there, but I don't think it's going to be a big issue, because you can see that they're all pretty much white. So we're going to make sure that these things are down. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to glue a little bit of glue on this black tape just so it won't come off. Carry that. You turn this off. This is pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and bring the picture over. I have this safety pin which we're going to create our holes with. We're going to puncture it from the front. So here's the picture, and so what we're going to be doing is putting fiber optic lighting here, here, and all these posts, and right through here. So we're going to take a little bobby pin, and we're just going to, let me straighten this out so it can be easier for me. And we're just going to be poking some holes here. So we do want, you know, to have like the bigger fibers here. So probably we'll put either 2 of the fibers here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. let's go ahead and do that. So we'll poke a hole there. Try to poke them all so they'll be close to each other. Right there in the middle, poke a hole. 2 there. So we're going to put, just going to put 1 hole for right now on these. There you go. Now that's done. Now we're going to flip it, and now we're going to start putting the fibers in. So we went ahead, poked it with this in here, and that's how it's set up. It's just laying there. You see? These are extras we're not going to use. We went ahead and poked the holes. These are extra. We're not going to do nothing with it. So we want to make sure that these guys are straight. So now we're going to use the Gorilla Glue and just dap a little bit of Gorilla Glue. Just going to dap a little bit of Gorilla Glue right here. Just put a little dap. Just a little dap right there. And that's it. So now we're going to let it dry, and once we let it dry, we're going to go ahead and come back and trim the rest. We went ahead and put the glue, and it's tacky, but I put these screwdrivers so like that the fibers can kind of go straight instead of to a little angle, because we don't want the lights to be off to an angle, even though it's okay on some areas, but I want them to be a little bit more straighter. So then what we're going to do is, once it's dry, we're going to go ahead and flip it and then trim the edges. Give us a thumbs up too if you like this video. Ta-da! So guys, now we're going to go ahead and just kind of flip this around. You guys can see here. And so now I'm just going to cut these fibers close. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. So there you go. Here's the lights that we have. We got the real faint ones. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. This is one way that you guys can support us. Now, in the description below, let me know if there's a photograph that you would love to see put fiber optics to in order to make it light up. Who knows? Maybe we'll go ahead and search for that photo and light her up. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you do a fiber optic lighting for a photo, take a picture and send it to me. I would love to see it, and perhaps I can even share it with everybody. All right, have a good one.